Hi, my name is Josh, and on this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you about the Automatic Subtask Professional add-on. This is a more advanced version of our very popular Automatic Subtask Jira add-on, and it's intended for users who require a more sophisticated workflow for their issues. The purpose of this add-on is to automate the creation of subtasks for your Jira issues. So a lot of development teams have common subtasks for every issue or story that they create. So for example, if they have a story of development that requires a analysis work piece, they add that as a subtask. Then they add something like UX design. Sometimes they also do peer review subtask, QA subtask, and so on. Since all the stories have the same subtasks, it takes quite a bit of time to manually create these issues all the time. Our add-on intends to save teams time by automating the creation of those automatic subtasks. Now, to access the add-on, you go to the top menu and click on ASP, Automatic Subtask Professional, and immediately you see the dashboard of the add-on. This displays the status of the add-on as it is right now, and it gives you that in the form of totals. So at the moment, this one has one template. It's got one parent issue. Oh, I'm sorry, it's got three parent issues, and it's got five child issues. The way this add-on works, it's a bit different than the simple version of the add-on. We create templates, and in the templates, we determine what stories or what parent tasks get what children tasks. And on the template itself, we also assign which projects will execute this template. So as you can see here, to create a template, you just click on the templates menu item, then create new. And here you start off by putting the name of the template. So my test template. You enable it if you want it to execute right away. Save it. And then you have two more options for this template. First thing you need to do is set some parent issues to it. So let's create one here. Let's select story. You can select all the major parent types as well as epics. So for every story that's created, add a new child issue of type subtasks. So these are all different types of subtasks, although most Jira instances just have one subtask called subtasks. But you can add as many as you want and they will show up here. So if we want to reuse some information from the parent task, such as the parent task summary or components or assignee or reporter, we can use that on the child issues. So in the case of analysis, we can always say, take the summary from the parent and add analysis completed. You can do the same in the description field. So we can say assignee, and then, or actually reporter is better, in case they didn't mark the assignee yet. So reporter, uh, um, work piece. Here you can pick the assignee, default assignee, and you can set original estimates too if you wish. You can also carry the fixed version of the parent or the labels of the parent, and they will be added to this subtask at the moment it is automatically generated. So go ahead and hit save, and you can right away add a new one in case you need to add many subtasks to this parent. So let's add one more. Um, let's do with UX design. Feature, and you can change here the assignee. Uh, let's look like this. and set a different estimate and save. So now you have a template. The template has um, is using one parent type, which is a story, and every time a story is created, it's going to automatically create these two subtasks for it. So as you can see here on the main templates window, there are no projects assigned to this template as of yet, so not much is going to happen when issues are created on your Jira instance. To execute this template, you need to tell the add-on which projects do you want it to execute on. And you do that in this section here below. So you say, okay, let's use the test project. Every time a story is created for the test project, execute the or add the two child issues that I just specified. So now the template is ready to be executed. So let's give it a go. So let's put here test project. We have only set up child task for stories. So test feature development. We hit enter to create it, and now it's created. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, so as we specified, it created the first subtask with the summary of the parent, so test feature development, and then it added more text to it, so it says analysis completed. It has the SID we specified and the estimations that we specified for it. The second thing it did was it added the other subtask, which is called UX design. It was unassigned because that's the way we specified it, and it also has the 2 hour estimations already set, so it worked perfectly. Now, let's go through a few things that might happen as you're creating your template. One of the things that can happen is that when you assign a project, you might get warnings like this. So project management does not contain the following types of issues. Story. So what it's telling you here is that you either have to go to your project and add stories to it. And if you don't, every time, the template is not going to apply to this project, at least not when it comes to story types. You can also see the warning. You saw the warning as a pop-up. You can also see it here on the project section of the template. So you hover over the warning icon and it tells you what the problem is. Now let's talk about conditions. So you can create a template that creates like in this case, a two-child subtask for every story you make for the project specified. But you might have situations where you don't want all the stories to create this automatic child task, even though you specified the project on the template. You can refine that a little further by using conditions. So the conditions are applied at the parent type level. So if you want only certain stories to generate the two child task, you have to go and edit that parent type. Scroll down to the section of conditions, and here you can specify what conditions you want applied before generating this automatic subtask. So let's say that we want only the stories that have that contain in the summary the keyword auto generate, and you save. Now let's try that experiment again. I'm going to go to the test project and I'm going to type test story, and let's see if it generates the automated subtask again. As you can see here, nothing was created. I'm going to reload the screen just to make sure. So no automatic subtasks were created for this story this time. The reason being is because we specified that the two automated subtasks are only going to be created when the summary of the story contains the word or the letters AG. So let's try to do that. Test. story 4, AG. Now, when it comes to conditions, the options that you have are summary contains some text or is equal to some text. Same for description. You can play around with components as well, or labels. Okay, let's talk about the configuration section. Using the configuration section, you can set the Jira add-on to be accessible only by the groups of Jira users that you specify. This is important for Jira administrators that do not want everybody to have access to the add-on for some reason. So if you have a big company, this task of configuring these add-ons are usually done by a specialized department. And this module allows you to do just that. So here what we're saying is only users from these groups can access the add-on. So if I say ASP team add, so now they can access the add-on and play with it and configure things. But if they're not here, they cannot access the add-on. Let's talk about legacy issues normalization. So what this module allows you to do is to apply templates that you have created to issues that were in your Jira instance prior to you installing these add-ons. So now you can say, first of all, you set up a filter by yourself where you select all the issues that you want normalized. And then you take that filter, you specify it here, and execute. When you execute this normalization process, the add-on goes through every issue on that filter and applies the template to it if it applies. That way, every issue that we had in this example, any issue that we had on the test project 1.0 that was here before we installed the add-on, is going to get 2 child issues per story that satisfy the condition that we just specified here. So that way you don't have to go back and manually redo all of the stories that did not have the automated child tasks. And that's how you normalized your Jira instance. Let's talk a little bit about the execution log. So the execution log allows you to do several things. The first thing it allows you to do is to see exactly what ran when. So here it says the test project 1.0. Somebody created an issue for it. It was TP11. And this add-on added 2 child tasks to it. This ran at this time and by this user. If for some reason you create your template, you configure everything as it should be, and then you realize that the stories are not generating the child task for some reason, the first place you might want to come to is here to the execution log, pick the project, and see if there's some kind of error. If there's an error, you will get a message here in a different icon, for example, like this one. And by hovering over, you can see what the error was. So for example, in this case, failed to pass conditions check. There are other types of errors. So for example, there might be a field missing, like time tracking, for example. And you would get the details here of what the problem was. We're always available to helping our customers. The first thing we encourage you to do is to go to the help section. And here you can see the frequently asked questions. And most importantly, you have access to the help desk. In our help desk, you can enter a technical support ticket. You can request a free configuration. We give you a 30-minute free configuration session. You can request a demo. You can ask questions about your licensing and billing. You can extend your trial periods or try another one of our add-ons. You can have miscellaneous questions. You can report a bug. This is one of our favorites. You can suggest a feature. We respond pretty quickly to feature requests or just simple improvements in add-ons or any of our processes. And we really appreciate that kind of feedback. Let's talk about the future plans for our add-on. We never stop developing and improving our add-ons. So we're going to make a few changes in the following weeks. The first thing we're going to do is change our UX a little bit to make it more simple. This is an advanced add-on, and yeah, it's for advanced users. We would like to get it closer to ordinary people being able to use it as well. So that's on the pipeline. Another thing we're doing at the moment is we're going to develop a panel on the side so you can see by clicking on the issue, you can see right away what has happened as far as automated subtasks go. You're going to be able to see how many subtasks have been created for this automatically, and you're going to have a button that would allow you to trigger that creation right from the panel. Another awesome feature we want to put to this is in the conditions section. In the conditions section, we will add a new condition that would allow you to generate the automated subtask by simply stating a status change. So if your story goes from the backlog to do, for example, you're going to be able to tell this to generate right there all of the subtasks for it.